Let's see. What else? What else is there? So even if you're missing a few teeth or your teeth are discolored or you're very embarrassed, there's no reason not to come in for a consultation, right?
Absolutely. New techniques, new technology, things are available to us that we never had before, and we can handle just about everything.
Where can people find you?
So you can find us at perfectsmiles.com or call 844-A-PERFECT-SMILE.
And now, an interview with the Emperor of Hate, Howie Carr.
Who do you consider the biggest rhino in the Republican Party?
Probably is Paul Ryan. I wish a Republican were still the speaker, but Paul Ryan was scarcely a Republican. And there was a reason he was Mitt Romney's running mate, because we had a rhino ticket in 2012.
Where did the expression, "How many more, Mr. Speaker? How many more?" come from?
That comes from the State House. There used to be a state rep who sometimes would talk about atrocities that were happening in.
Better strap yourself in. It's time for the Howie Carr Show.
Violent rioting, arson, looting of businesses and public property, assaults on law enforcement officers and innocent people, and even the murder of a federal agent. Such senseless acts of anarchy are not exercises of First Amendment rights.
Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Live from the Matthews Brothers Studios.
If you were at one of those protests, I would assume that you were infected. Worry about your 55-year-old grandfather or your 62-year-old grandmother. They can die from this virus. And by the way, you could too, but that's a separate conversation.
None of what you just said to me makes any sense.
We are not restricting people's right to protest. There are also obviously significant social issues, that are present, that people feel that they need to have a voice.
Oh, I see how it is.
Who's your captain? Howie Carr.
So you won't say to this committee whether or not you even read the document you signed that authorized spying on people associated with the Trump campaign?
I'll explain the process to you.
If you knew then what you know now, would you have signed the warrant application?
No, I would not.
How could you sign off on something with this number of misrepresentations that the FISA court later came back and said, this destroys our trust in the FBI? You signed off on it personally. How could this happen?
Unchained and unstoppable.
And their predicate for all of this is the Logan Act, which no one has ever been prosecuted under in the history of the Department of Justice. I guarantee you today, John Kerry is violating the Logan Act.
Can I get out of here, please?
Rump swabs, hacks, and moonbats beware. It's Howie Carr.
Welcome to the Howie Carr Show. 844-500-4242, 844-500-4242. You know, this entire series of fiascos is really exposing a lot of people, and one of them who's being exposed more than somewhat is Governor Andrew Cuomo. Did you just hear that sound cut? Your 55-year-old grandmother or your 62-year-old grandfather, whatever he said, the age is what's important. Your chances of dying at the age of 55 or 62 are very small, very, very small. Even if you're shipped into one of those nursing homes where Andrew Cuomo sent everybody, you got to be a lot older. You need underlying conditions. Does he not he's ruined the economy of the Empire State of New York. just like Charlie Parker has ruined the economy of Massachusetts. And he doesn't seem to have the slightest understanding of what the threat of the disease is. But of course, that's not the only thing he's clueless about. He's shocked at the mayhem going on in New York City. He's pretending that this is news to him, and he can't believe this is going on. In case you didn't hear the news, overnight, two NYPD cops shot, one stabbed during cowardly attack in Brooklyn. And what happened was they were grappling with this guy in Flatbush, and he knifed one of the cops and grabbed his gun, and then he shot two of the other cops. He didn't injure them severely, but they shot him. And so now it turns out, according to the New York Post, authorities are investigating whether the stabbing of an NYPD cop was a terror-inspired assault by an immigrant from the Balkans. I'm thinking it's Muslim terrorist. I don't think it's a Serbian Christian who did this. Law enforcement sources told the Post on Saturday the suspect, whom sources identified as Dozdan Karnovic, posted anti-police writing on social media, sources said. So he comes here to the country as an immigrant, probably a refugee, meaning he was probably on welfare, and he immediately decides to become a anti-police activist and a terrorist.
He's a good boy, a very good boy.
Yes. Governor Andrew Cuomo called the attack intolerable. Maybe we should have thought twice about allowing him to come into the country if he had these tendencies. Can someone say Sarniev or any of the many others who have come here and become terrorists? Members of the Joint Terrorism Task Force arrived on the scene. That's federal and local. Thursday morning this morning, while police took photos of ACAB graffiti, an acronym meaning all cops are bastards. Oh, that's nice. Celebrate diversity. Good. They come to the country and they want to assimilate and become terrorists and stab and shoot police officers. I'm getting all a warm and cuddly feeling inside. Meanwhile, you heard last weekend that there were two lawyers from New York City who were throwing Molotov cocktails at the police in Brooklyn. And the female lawyer who actually tossed the Molotov cocktail while her boyfriend or whoever was driving the getaway car. He was from Princeton, by the way. She was bailed out of jail. The female lawyer was bailed out, $250,000 bail by a former high-level Obama administration intelligence official. This Obama woman, she's a woman, Salma Rizvi, served in the Defense Department, State Department, and she paid $250,000 bond for this woman, Uruj Rahman. Uruj Rahman is my best friend, and I am an associate at the law firm Ropes and Gray in Washington, D.C. I earn $255,000 a year. Ropes and Gray. So it used to be a white shoe law firm. Seems to have taken a turn for, I don't know what it's taken a turn for. Rivzi, she's the one who provided the bail. She had a scholarship from the Council on American Islamic Relations, CARE, a radical anti-Israel group, and was a fellow in a legal organization that supports boycotting Israel. And she also received scholarship funds from an organization that was founded by George Soros's brother. Gee, it's a small world, isn't it? It's a small, very small world. Authorities found additional incendiary devices in Ujra Rahman's car. And they They let the guy, his name is Collinford Manthis. They let him go on apparently they released him on home detention with GPS monitoring devices. Oh, I guess he had to provide bail too. The prosecutors said that he has not demonstrated himself to be a rational person. You mean a guy went to Princeton and is throwing bombs at a police station has not demonstrated himself to be a rational person? How dare you? How dare you? Take a knee.
How dare you?
And that said bomb throwers should not be released back out onto the streets amid continuing demonstrations. I would say that's a legitimate perspective to have. 844-500-4242. What is a white shoe law firm? That means they handle they handle big corporate accounts and big money. It's not like it's not like Paul Newman in The Verdict, just hanging around the Boston Municipal Court and picking up cases as they come in. It's big money. Big money. They have offices in skyscrapers, that kind of thing. That's what they used to be. Meanwhile, in another riot-related development, 3 dreamers were among those arrested during weekend riots in Phoenix.
Everything free in America.
That's all you need to know about that. 844-500-4242. Margaret, you're next with Howie Carr. Go ahead, Margaret.
Hi, Howie.
Hi.
Did anybody ever Google the background of this George Floyd guy? I wanted to say something first before we talk about the governor in there.
Yeah, George Floyd.
You know that in
Yeah, I mean the Minneapolis police union was saying that he wasn't really a solid citizen, shall we say?
In 2009, he got 5 years for assault and robbery, and he's been all kinds of drug charges and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Really? And what are you giving him such a eulogy for? I'm not even watching it. It's a mockery.
Well, I mean, he shouldn't be dead though. I mean, passing it, if he did pass that counterfeit double sawbuck, he shouldn't be dead for that. That's not a capital crime. But again, this is what is now being used. Coronavirus didn't work, but there are elements of the society that think they're going to benefit, or their political leaders or puppets, I should say, are going to benefit from this kind of discord in the United States. So this is the story that's going to be pushed a lot. Thanks for the call, Margaret. 844-500-4242. I'm Howie Carr.
He's the guru of craft. It's Howie Carr.
This hour of the Howie Carr Show is brought to you by the Nauset Beach Inn. All Ocean View rooms are $125 from June 8th through the 18th. To grab one before they're gone, go to nausetbeachinn.com and click on special offers. Here's how it works with my retirement accounts, and I'll bet yours too. If your 401k, your SEP, your IRA, whatever, is going up, you probably don't think very much about it, right? But if it's going down, well...
And I'd like him to read Ecclesiastes 3. To every season, there's a time and a purpose. And I think that it is our job to let the world know, when we see what is going on in the streets of this country and in Europe, around the world, that you need to know what time it is. First of all, we cannot use Bibles as a prop. And for those that have agendas that are not about justice, this family will not let you use George as a prop. If you want to get your stuff off, don't use him. Let us stand for what is right. Because when I got the call from Attorney Crump, And usually when he calls me, it's not to find out how I'm doing. It's usually because something happened that he wants National Action Network and I to get involved. And he explained to me what was happening with this case. And I'd already heard about it in the media. And immediately I said, well, let me know what you want me to do. He said, whatever you need to do. One of the things, Martin, that I've always had to deal with is critics would say, all Al Sharpton wants is publicity. Well, that's exactly what I want. Because nobody calls me to keep a secret. People call me to blow up issues that nobody else would deal with. I'm the blow up man, and I don't apologize for that. Because you get away too much with hiding things. Honey has talked about y'all putting clothes in the oven to have your clothes dried. Well, I didn't grow up in the third world, but I grew up in third ward. I grew up in Brownsville, and we had roaches. Now, I know Kevin Hart and some of the rich Hollywood folk here don't know what roaches are, but we had roaches. Ludicrous. And one thing I found out about roaches is that if you keep the light off, if you're in the dark, a roach will pull up to your dinner table and have a 5-course meal.
We're in our tribes, we're in our corners most of our lives. I think we just heard some gunshots. Should we listen to that for a second, control room? So that's not gunshots? Okay.
Ivanka is not the second lady. She is actually, I don't think she deserves this position. She's actually a senior advisor to the president. So the idea that he would demean her specifically in that way, he shouldn't talk about the first lady that way. We aren't all here to make salads for men. It's disgusting.
I mean, I'm presuming he was talking about Karen Pence when he said second lady.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
Not Montana. I'm talking about never mind.
Yeah, no,
Ignore me.
I mean, that's Republicans could add to
I was getting Montana and North Dakota confused because, I don't know, I just was.
Hi, this is Val from Longmeadow, Mass.
Hi, this is Tony and Pietra from Havel, Massachusetts.
This is Myrnie in Fairfax County, Virginia, and this is the Howie Carr Show.
844-500-4242. 404 says Small Duvall's wife was a partner at Ropes and Gray. I'd forgotten about that. And let's see, 207 says those two lawyers arrested are today's version of Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn. Well, I tell you, I don't know about the guy, but Bernadine Dorn, I found her, somewhat attractive in the pictures of her in her weather days. I'm sure she's an old hag now. She's probably about 75, but she was good looking. Uruj Rahman, I just saw her mugshot today on Fox. Fox printed it, Fox News, and she looks like a dish rag. Ugh, she is not Bernadine Dorn. 844-500-4242. The poll question: unlike home security systems that are so complicated you never use them, Simply Safe was designed to be easy while protecting your whole home 24/7. Head to simplysafehowie.com and get free shipping and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Taylor, what's the poll question? What are the results thus far?
Why hasn't the FBI dismantled Antifa? Is it because it never occurred to them, or because they were too busy interfering in the 2016 election?
I'd been thinking that, but I saw those actual words printed in the on the American Thinker website today. I'm going to say they were. It could be either one. But I'm going to say they were just too busy interfering in the 2016 election. They were too busy trying to frame Republicans.
Yeah, it's probably a mix of both, considering the Boston bombing. But
they
a little too preoccupied trying to take down Donald Trump.
Right. And I thought just now that we could have made a third category. It's too late now. We won't do it, but it could be professional courtesy. You know, they both kind of have the same goals, right? They want to take that. They're Democrats in one form or another.
Cheap bastard.
844-500-4242. Time now for the cheap bastard deal. And
Car's cheap bastard deal. Oh, yeah. Sounds too good to be true.
Oh no, it's real and it's a steal.
You know there's plenty more when you shop at Howie's store for another Howie Carr cheap bastard deal.
Howie Carr, the cheapest bastard around.
all right, this is a familiar cheap bastard deal, but it's always great and it always does very well. It's the Nauset Beach Inn. The Nauset Beach Inn in Orleans, Massachusetts. It's right on the Cape Cod National Seashore. And with us is Dave Henchy. He runs the Nauset Beach Inn, and you are open for business, Dave. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're going to open up on Monday when the governor allows us to open up, of course.
Okay.
Right now, the only thing we had for business this morning, we had two beautiful white-tailed deer on the front lawn, looking at the beach, having some grass. You know, but it's a smashing day on Cape Cod today. I got to say, the water's sparkling, the surf is just very nice. A lot of people out on the beach down there. You know, it's right in front of us. We can see the beach. It's only 750 feet from the surf, the hotel, and some of this beautiful hill. And we get this 4-acre grass lawn, you know, with all the Adirondack chairs and lounge chairs out there.
So you
waiting
could
for customers.
So you can use these gift certificates not this weekend, but anytime after Monday.
Yeah, that's the idea. And actually, the gift certificates are priced for the summer season, Howard. So it's half price rooms for the high season, which is unusual. This is the first time in over 20 years there's been rooms available in the summer.
For obvious reasons. Right.
Yeah, the COVID thing. You know, we took everybody took a major hit down here on reservations. They're coming back. The phone's ringing a lot, I have to say. But like I said, normally the summer is booked out by December, and there's not a room available. And
once it gets hot,
once
it gets hot, you got to figure you're going to be getting calls under any circumstances. So what we have here today are we have 25 gift certificates to the Nauset Beach Inn. The rooms are usually $259.99, but we're selling them for half price, $129.99, $130 instead of $260 basically. And so it's half price, and there's only 25 of them, so they're going to go very, very fast. And the rooms have been completely updated with 2 queen beds, 8-foot picture windows, fireplaces, refrigerator, microwave, coffee maker, everything you need. And you've got the great ocean view, the sound of the waves. You can relax, and it's a very affordable price. So they're not going to last long, are they, Dave?
No, they'll go very quickly. And, you know, it's also I want to make a mention of social separation. Again, we have this very, very large lawn overlooking the ocean up on the hill, and all the rooms enter out into the lawn. We put up mailboxes so people can self-check in and self-check out. And we're all ready to make sure that people can socially separate, which they can anyways. It's a spectacular spot. If you go to our website, nausetbeachinn.com, you'll see that very easily.
Someone wants to know if there's surf. Is there surf fishing right down at the end of the?
Oh yeah, actually, people were pulling striped bass out on a regular basis, and we do have 4 barbecues on the property. You got to bring your own utensils for sanitation purposes, but people literally, they come out, they fillet the fish, and they cook the breakfast actually often. And there's actually people surfing out there right now. I'm looking right at it.
Wow.
It really looks lovely, to tell you the truth.
So you can bring your pet. That's extra, and you could bring extra people. That's a little extra too. But this is a good deal. This is $130 a night. You're not going to do any better than this. And so when can they use these gift certificates, Dave? When can they use them?
The gift certificates are available to use from June 18th and through the season. And if they can't get there this summer, of course, we'll honor it next summer.
Okay, so you can use the gift certificate at any time after June 18th. That's great. So Nauset Beach Inn, this is the cheap bastard deal. Go to HowieCarrShow.com and click on store. Dave, thanks for being with us, and have a good day. I'm Howie Carr. Are the new normal, but the kind you use really matters because not all offer the same protection. Boomer Naturals has a highly recommended consumer covering. It's 3 layers of ultra soft and breathable cloth, and it comes in sizes for both adults and children. This cotton polyester blend cloth is made for use up to 30 days when hand washed between uses. Order now at boomernaturals.com. Use code HowieCarr20 at checkout and save 20%. Get free shipping and handling on any order over $50.
The great outdoors in a brand new 2020 Subaru Forester, a 2020 IIHS Top Safety Pit Plus. Lease for only $265 per month for 36 months with $24.65 due at signing. Powered by standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. The Forester is a Quibberoo of NewEngland.com.
The Democrat progressives, whatever you want to call them, that sometimes certain moonbats get overlooked. So let's take this moment to shine the woke spotlight on Crazy Maisie Hirono.
I am not going to be a fool to Mitch McConnell's whistle. It's a bullhorn. Bullhorns. It's race anti-Semitic. It's white supremacy.
Why not take us politically, but also not say that you don't support it?
I disagree with you, Katie, that why should we engage in the kind of sham shenanigans that Mitch McConnell is really good at? I'm confused. This was just a sham.
Guess who's perpetuating all of these kinds of actions? It's the men in this country. And I just want to say to the men in this country, just shut up and step up.
I think the noose is closing, and, Giuliani is like a loose cannon, and so is the president, frankly.
I'm here with Dr. Bruce Houghton from Perfect Smiles in Nashua, New Hampshire. You get a lot of patients, I'm sure, who are apprehensive about veneers. What are some of the questions and fears you get when you're dealing with new patients?
Some people think they could look too fake, but true cosmetic dentistry is incredibly detail oriented. So we put a lot of time and effort into individualizing how the smile looks, and we really make them look natural, but very, very pleasant.
People are concerned. They wonder, I got my teeth. Do I really want to put caps on?
Exactly. Yeah, they think they'll have that Hollywood look or fake look, but the technology that we have available and the artistry that we can create now really makes things so natural that most people, in fact, most dentists are just surprised that we can create what we can create nowadays. Everyone is different. Everyone has different facial dimensions, different bone structure, and we do everything we can to individualize treatment because there is no one perfect smile. It is your perfect smile.
Dr. Houghton, where can people find you?
So you can find us at perfectsmiles.com or call 844-A-PERFECT-SMILE. 844-A-PERFECT-SMILE.
Bernie Sanders is officially in the race for 2020. Let's look back at some of the septuagenarian's greatest hits.
Should we give tax breaks to billionaires, which is what Trump wants, or demand that the wealthy and large corporations start paying their fair share of taxes?
Blah, 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 blah. It's funny, sometimes American journalists talk about how bad a country is because people are lining up for food. That's a good thing. In other countries, people don't line up for food. The rich get the food and the poor starve to death.
We understand your wife has hired a lawyer to represent her in a possible probe into a land deal that fell apart. This was back when she was president of Burlington College.
No,
of
it was
course, in
not
your
when
state.
she was. Oh, let me say a word on that. You know.
Yeah. Well, I just want to ask you, do you know she's under FBI investigation?
Excuse me. My wife is about the most honest person I know.
At the end of the day, you don't necessarily need a choice of 23 underarm spray deodorants or 18 different pairs of sneakers.
People should not be dying in the United States of America when they are sick.
We will raise taxes.
You can call him Fat Boy. Just don't
Taylor, how fast are those things going?
He's Howie Carr.
We will bring over your entire family from the third world Muslim hellhole that they live in so that they can have an all expenses paid, taxpayer funded with open bar weekend at a nice hotel in Boston, get a nice sightseeing tour, maybe take them to Fenway Park for a game so they can see their savage Muslim terrorist kinsman sentenced to death. But the president of the United States of America can't be allowed, Taylor, to speak before Parliament because he's such a terrible barbarian, as opposed to the dictator of